All right, guys. Let's go ahead and start off. I just want to thank all of you guys for coming. Um, First and foremost, Rapsha, otherwise known as Kane, would be glad to know that you guys are here. In his unfortunate passing. But yeah, we all know Rapsha definitely would be happy to see all of you guys here. And in the event that if Rapsha was here, we all, know he'd be cracking jokes right now, making everybody laugh. But just to go ahead and get started, for those of you that weren't aware, Rapture known as Kane, he had passed away back in December 16th of 24. We only recently found out in the past month. So since then, we've been planning this. And then again, I just want to extend a thank you for showing up for Rapture because, he was a great member of the community and we all greatly appreciate him. Not only that, but Rapture was part of the 63 for years, and as well as at one point he was part of the 26, and I'm sure he's made a great impact on plenty of different lives in not only the 63 and the 26, but I'm sure across the community as a whole. And there's a big void that will never be filled with Rapture's passing. There probably won't be anybody as funny or lighthearted as Rapture. So just to go ahead and get started, let's see. Preacher, if you'd like to go ahead and step up, I know you have some words. You can click on the Discord, and then I invited
Ja,
you
ik
to
zie
speak.
het. Ja, dankjewel. Um, yeah. So, personally, I know Rapsha for a very long time. He's been a friend, someone who asked a lot of questions to me about how life was going for him. And today, we remember and honor Rapsha. To me and to many others, a beloved member of our gaming community, a friend to many, and his passing indeed leaves a space that can't be filled in the hearts and are heavy with loss. Rapture was more than just a gamer. He brought a lot of laughter, light-hearted humor, sarcasm, a very unique spirit to every voice chat, line battle, siege, or late-night gaming session we had together. He was a kind of person that would make you laugh, and even if things weren't going his way, he made light of it. He just fuck it, don't do it that way. His presence was felt, his voice familiar, and the energy of his jokes infectious. Perhaps he also faced his share of struggles, particularly with alcohol, and we acknowledge that part of his journey with compassion and respect. His battles were real, but they never defined the sum of who he was. He was a human being with depth, humor, and heart. Someone who made our little corner of the internet feel a little bit more like home. Knowing that he, in the end, wanted to be embraced by the faith. I'd like to remind people that do believe in God that in times like these, we can turn to words that remind people of hope and healing, as it says in Revelation 21, verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Rapsha may have logged off for the last time, but his memory will live in our stories, and in our games, and in our hearts. Rest easy, brother. You will be missed, but never forgotten. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Preacher. Just to go ahead and give you guys a heads up, if any of you guys at any point would like to speak, you're welcome to either put a little message in chat or shoot me a DM, and we're more than happy to give you the opportunity. Let me go ahead and get Mr. Blackwing Nut. You want to go ahead and come up here and speak?
Hello, friends. Today we remember Rapture, a good friend of mine. He always said he was one of the best friends online he had. He was flawed. He had a particular sense of humor, We had some passions in life, old girlfriends, drinking. Yeah, maybe there's a lesson in here. If you have a problem, and it's always you can always reach out to your parents, caretakers, or priest and talk about these problems. I think in the end he kind of pushed us away to not let us suffer his undergoing of you know into death. That's that's how I feel about it, and I already tried to find religion, and always say the darker the night, the brighter the stars. Um, I didn't prepare much of a speech anyway, but I'm gonna miss you, buddy, and I guess one final toast for you to Rapsha.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Blackman. McNamee, are you here?
Hello.
You're good. Go for it.
Hi, everybody. Uh, I haven't been around for a while, but with the recent passing of Hank and now Rapsha, I'd like to thank everybody here. Hate to start off on a negative or downer, but I think it's important to know that Rapsha's immediate family passed away either before or soon after his own death, and this is the closest thing he pretty much got to a funeral. And so I really appreciate everybody being here and all the kind words in the tribute channel. I met Rapsha like early 2018, soon after he joined, and through gaming and talking on TeamSpeak, quickly, became close friends. I soon left the regiment, but kept good ties with a lot of the old guys I used to talk to, including Rapsha. Eventually, I went off to university in a town, a couple hours from home, and I had no friends there, and definitely no family there. And so Rapsha, along with the other guys, were kind of like a mainstay in my point every night, pretty much. If I was in Riverside, which is where I went to university, I talked to Rapsha, and it would go on, till 1, 2, 3 in the morning sometimes. Pretty much gamed with him as much as I could at the time. There's a lot of funny stories in that, but honestly, the sadness of the situation is kind of glossing over all the good times. Although Rapsha is, might not tell from the tone of my voice, the funniest person I've ever met in my life, but that goes without saying. Rapsha, Rapsha's drinking got worse and worse over the years, along with other substance abuses. And although now we look back and we look at those times where he was funny and outrageous and whatnot, and we laughed, I just think going forward, it's definitely a lesson to be learned that when you laugh, including myself, you kind of reinforce that self-destructive behavior. And it's something that I didn't care to, notice at the time. But looking back, I feel a little bit of guilt for helping sort of worsen that situation in a way, just by the fact of laughing to those kinds of situations when he was intoxicated. Rapsha randomly one night went offline in April, and after that wasn't heard of from again. And then one night randomly appeared in Will Kill's Discord, where with Will Kill I managed to talk to him briefly for about like an hour or so, and it's as if he hadn't been gone for 8 months without any word from him. We were worried. We thought he was in rehab, and that's the impression he gave. But unfortunately, we talked to him December 23rd, and he died 3 days later. Uh, I he was 34, and we were pretty much the only family he had. And I hope he realizes, wherever the hell he is, that we loved him. And despite all of his flaws and all of the destruction he occasionally caused, deep down in his heart, he was a good guy who needed a lot of help. And I wish I could have given him that help when he needed it most. It's just a lesson to be learned. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Beckman. All right, let me go ahead and see. Archibald, are you here? Yep, you're good.
Okay. Okay, folks. I've known Rapsha since before I joined 2 months before he joined this regiment. I've known him since the very beginning, and he quickly became my right-hand man. He was always on, he was always around, he was always down. He was just such a treasure to all of us at that time, and it went on like that for years. There's really no way to replace a fellow like that, and it's something I didn't learn until it was too late. I think everybody's talking about lessons that can be learned, and boy, now that his story's over, I can really learn from it. I can really see that when people are towards the end of substance abuse, they are their most vile. They are the most difficult to be around, and that's when they need the most help. He could have at any point in time turned his life around, but he had lost his leadership. After his father passed, he had nobody. He had his mom, who he was adopted, so it wasn't even really his mom, and she didn't really seem to care for him because she lived in the same town, and he didn't even go to her house for Thanksgiving or anything. After he died, she tried to get control of his estate. 2 months later, she was gone. There's no happy ending here. There's no way for us to say Rapsha is like, you know what I mean? There's no fucking happy ending here. So what I really want is to impart on you guys that he left this legacy that may not be very positive, but it's such a valuable learning lesson. He's so extreme in the way that his story ended that he is really just a great example to tell other people about when they're headed down the same path. And I've been fortunate enough to see somebody who's pulled themselves out of that same path, and they now are in a much better place. So I don't necessarily know what's going on in everybody's life, but everybody's going to go through problems. It's part of being alive. It's probably one of the most important things of being alive. And you can't always do it yourself. You just can't. We're all connected in a way that we don't even understand. So just, if you're struggling, fucking talk to somebody. Just go talk to somebody. Like Black Wingnut said, go talk to a priest if you had to. Go talk to somebody that's willing to listen. And if nobody else is willing to listen, then just find me. I'm around. Okay? I'm serious about that too. Now, one other thing I want to kind of explain here is that something Mac Nooney already touched on. Since all of his family is gone, you guys have to understand that we were his family. We became a surrogate family, and in that time frame, circa like 2018 to 2020, we had adopted each other as family. And so Rapsha is essentially the brother I never had, and I do regret not telling him that, but I was only made aware of it afterwards. Don't make these mistakes. Don't let hate consume you. Don't hold grudges because you're really only hurting yourself in the end. And I don't know. At the end of the day, he's going to be missed. You're all going to be missed in some way, shape, or form. And like somebody said, this is the closest thing he's ever going to have to a funeral. Well, I'm glad we're all here to share in this. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Archibald. Let's see. Joyce, are you here? One second. Let me find where Joyce is at. Awesome. Thank you.
Hey there.
You're good.
Hey, so I don't know if anyone else from the 26th is going to speak. So, not necessarily speaking on behalf of the 26th, but I'm sure that they would all agree with just kind of the sentiment of how much we left Rapsha and missed him. It's just I think as some of those months went on where we weren't hearing from him, we kind of expected the worst. I think that reality was kind of setting in, but it was obviously painful to hear that news officially when we did learn a month or so ago. So I don't remember exactly when Rapsha joined the 26th. It might have been, I don't know, late 2021 or early 2022. I might have that totally off, but I think all of us in the 26th just he just brought us such a different energy and sense of humor, and I think for a few of us that were maybe like myself, just kind of closer in age to him, it was just kind of a different kind of energy and kind of connection of someone we could kind of talk to. And I think what maybe a lot of people don't realize is sometimes in those kind of line battles, and he's maybe saying some crazy stuff. Once the call kind of died down and it was just a few of us, you got to kind of know the true Rapsha. And I could tell he was just someone who was hurting, but even when he was hurting, he would he really cared about other people. And I think just the way I would kind of describe him is just someone who had just a gentle and a soft heart deep down. I think he really wanted other people to do well, and I think he really wanted to get out of the situation he was in. I think he didn't know how. I think a lot of us didn't really know what to do. Obviously, being kind of geographically disconnected. I think I would kind of encourage people that we can obviously learn something, but I wouldn't beat yourself up over anything you did or didn't do. I think all of us are just trying to do our best, and I think it's clear that Rapsha got kind of a sense of family and connection, from this community that he didn't get anywhere else. So I think you have a lot to be just happy about that. If he didn't have this community, that it could have been so much different for him. Maybe the last few years of his life would have been filled with less joy, and maybe it would have even ended earlier. And so I think you should all be just happy with what you were able to leave with Rapsha, and not only the way that he impacted our lives, but just from what I've heard, just from some of you all who are a little bit closer to him, just that you were able to be something in his life that he didn't have. So we're gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna not necessarily remember many of the conversations we had, but his laugh I will never forget. That raspy, crackly laugh is something I honestly I'll never forget. And just the way he was able to make us laugh, and we're gonna miss him. So that's all I've got to say.
Hey, Joyce. We've got to get Spacey up here now.
All right. Well, hello everyone. It's nice to see that our two communities had, maybe not all of us were aware, but we had such a strong bond between the two of us through Rapsha. He was part of you guys for a long time, and I think, Joyce, you're right. He joined around the end of 2021. He got a little trouble in the 63 East, so he was hiding out with us for a few years, and we really appreciate the time that we got to spend with him. Obviously, we would prefer it had not ended in the way it did, but he had a lot of struggles. And remember, the last time I had spoken to him was when he had last discharged from the hospital before he passed away, and he was in rough shape, but he had kind of accepted where things were going. And it was obviously hard to hear, and nobody wants to hear that, but I can have some comfort in that he had felt reassured in his religious convictions, and that he was ready for the next chapter in his story. And we're sad to see him go, and we'll all be able to remember him for the years to come, but just take joy in the shared memories we have and the mutual connection between our two groups, and hopefully work together that we don't have to see something like this happen again, and be there for one another. So thank you everyone for coming. That's all I got.
Thanks, Space.
Vive l'empereur!
Thanks, no, sorry.
Vive la France! Vive la France!
I invited you to speak, Eric.
Hey everyone, sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Hi everyone. Apologies, it'll be apologies, it'll be very hard to speak on this, but many may not know me. It's good to see some old faces. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who came. I don't have much to say, but I would just like to say that Rapsha, we very much miss you. He, yeah, as most people know, he had a lot of demons, and unfortunately, it was hard for him to beat them. But I just want to say that, I can't speak on him too much and his mentality personally, but I don't know if he saw a lot of value in himself, but we all did, and we very much so loved him. Sorry. We very much so loved him as a brother, and just as a friend. And I would just like to remind people to be easy on themselves, and at the end of the day, we all did our best to help him. Maybe not in the best way, but it was up to him at the end of the day. And please be gentle with yourselves. It's time. I don't have much to say other than, I spent a lot of time with Rapsha, and miss you, man, and love you. And please, everyone, be well. Thank you.
Thank you, X.
Vive l'empereur!
I'd like to also extend the opportunity out right now, before we go ahead and move on. Would anybody else like to come up and speak before we go ahead and wrap this up? You're good, I got you.
Hey, hi. Is my mic coming through?
Yep, you're good.
Well, what an emotional few speeches we've had recently. Seems like the whole Vice community has been struck by a few tragedies as of late. Even in my own community, there's been quite a few sad moments. My community being across in Australia and OCE. It's really heartfelt of the 63 to put on a loving tribute for their friend. It has an enduring legacy and is known the game over across all the communities. I personally was brought here by Fires, a guy in, the only guy I know from 63, and Holdfast is a way of connecting people like that. I did not know the man myself, but it seems to me that he had a great sense of humour, but also was capable, like all of us, of genuine moments of sincerity. And you do get to know those sort of people in the late hours of the night when, you know, some of the facades are dropped and you can have a real genuine conversation, and you can see the spark come out of them. This is a very good chance to just feel sad, you know, genuinely feel sad. That's a loss. And in a world where there are many distractions, including the one that we congregate for, it is a good chance for reflection. And many things are not pretty, and plenty of it is bitter. But it is a good chance to feel appreciative and thankful for our own lives and the connections we have with other people. And I think that is a really important part of all of this, is to look within yourself and have some thankfulness about the lives that we lead and where we want to go in the future for those who have a future still left to go towards. From reading through all the tributes in the channel, it seems that Rapsha lives through many memories, and in the nature of the digital age, he truly can't be forgotten. There will always be a part of him in the world, and hopefully you guys have plenty of videos and things that you can revisit, or old DMs and things like that that are in the logs. And of course, it all ends in love. I've seen an incredible amount of love, and with a few people passing, and with one of the close brothers of the oceanic community losing a sister to a house fire, and plenty of people donating to his cause from NA and EU. I've seen an incredible amount of love recently. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Fires. Thank you, 63.
Thank you for speaking. Here's Lady Potato. There you go. Invite to speak.
Hello, everyone. I only had the pleasure of talking to Rapsha once. It was a late night. I was maybe a bit too tired for my own good. But Rapsha came in. I think we talked for around an hour or two about loose and thin. It wasn't anything like super serious. He talked a bit about his struggles. I talked a bit about mine. And it seems like out of the two of us, I managed to fight out of my struggles while he sadly didn't manage to fight off his. So for the one time I managed to meet Rapsha and talk to him, he was a fantastic person to be around. You felt warm. We didn't necessarily agree on everything, but we had a mutual understanding and respect overall for each other. And I think that that was very nice, and I will cherish that moment. and I hope that you guys will cherish the good moments between us as human beings as well. Remember, the person behind each and every one of the screens are your own family in a weird sense. We all play a sometimes silly musket game, but we still are a community, and the community stays together. So, thank you.
Vive la France!
Later.
Vive la France!
All right, well, I invited you up here to speak as well. Well, if you go into the Discord, if you click on the stage thing, it'll give you the option to speak. It should say accept invite to speak or something of that sort.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Go for all you.
I'm Will Kill. I've known Rapsha since I guess I started. If I were to go back, I think Cappuccino recruited me, and then sometime later he came. Um, One thing I remember with him was like Zen could be like we could be having like a meeting or maybe in a formal line, and then when someone's giving orders, sometimes Rapture would just like hop offline or do a spin or just do something not supposed to do because that's how he was. Or if not, like, maybe right after being's over, like he'll just pull his gun and just shoot someone next to him just because, like, hey, being's over, don't matter. Yeah. Like I knew he had a problem, but it's like I didn't quite know how to help him with it. I mean, I try to tell him, like, try to slow down, drink, but it's one of those things that's like it's like you want to help someone, but you don't know how to. Yeah, I always remember just the times when like things were supposed to be this, but then he just do something just to get attention or just to bring some like levity, like bring some little bit of enjoyment to the moment. Even though sometimes it would just be awkward or not I just hope that he's in a better place. He's not hurrying anymore. I hope he's at peace now. Because I know for a while he wasn't happy, and it's like I try to talk to him, but I don't know. I guess is to him, but overall, I hope you're doing better, Kane. Sorry, I can do. That's all I have to say for now.
Vive l'empereur!
There you go.
Vive l'empereur!
And then, where are you at? G-Daddy?
Hello?
Yep, you're good.
So I'm G Daddy, X63 member anyways. It's this and that, but I knew Raptor not for the longest time, but when I first joined I used to hang around with Wingnut a lot, and Rapture came in. And yeah, he was a strange bloke, but I mean that's who I thrive with, and I made good mates with him. And I think the amount of evenings I spent talking with him, sitting there with Wingnut, chatting shit for hours, drinking, it was good. And I'm not going to be able to relive them memories, and have it tomorrow or the year later because he's gone. But I'm always going to remember him. I'm going to remember being there with Wingnut, sitting with the boys, having my IRL friends as well, coming to the Discord and meet him because that's all I used to speak about when I met him. But yeah, I'm going to keep it short. But yeah, rest easy up there, brother. So yeah, thank you.
Vive l'empereur!
Thank you, Daddy.
Vive l'empereur!
All right, Captain, I invited you up. All right, you're good.
All right. Well, thank you very much for letting me speak, and let me say it's really incredible you all came out. This is obviously tragic, and we all had so many moments, and I love to see all the other regiments. Thank you for this regiment and all the other regiments really doing something like this for someone special, even though he may not have rubbed everyone the right way. When we first came across him, like any of you have, I mean, he had a way of just taking over the room and just enjoying his presence, his energy, like somebody said. And yeah, that laugh, you can't get over that laugh he had. It was just something so cool. I loved playing so many different games with him. Of course, being in the 63E, he was just a motivator, a go-getter, a guy who could, listen to orders and also, give them out and play around too, not always be so serious like Will brought up. He'd just turn around and stab you at the end of a training match. But for some of us that knew him, we can all share that this man, he gave so much of himself to us. He opened up because, like some of you said already, I mean, we were his family, whether it was in this regiment or another regiment or even in a separate group chats. It was just so refreshing to be able to either drink alongside him, watch him live stream, and do funny, weird shit, and then also shoot the shit in the game. I just wanted to bring back one memory I had. It was this Viking game called Valum. And we're all serious, and I'm playing this Viking gang Valum like, this is real. We're on the seven seas, and then Rapsha comes out like Jesus walking on water, and he's got some sort of mod or some sort of hack going on, and we're all on the boat just trying to explore because it's not only dangerous to be out on the ocean, but you can die or shit can happen. But Rapsha, He's walking the waters, exploring the islands ahead, telling us what's up, and we're like, dude, what's going on, man? Come on, get down from there. What are you doing, bro? It was great. He touched my life, and I enjoyed his sense of humor so much, and it was just heartbreaking to get this news, really. And it's another life cut short. Amazing spirit this man had. We all have our demons and things we have to work on. I, like many of you, have I get choked up, like just thinking I could have done a little bit more. But don't dwell, but celebrate this life, this beautiful man that we had. Some of us short times, some of us long time together. I just say, in a positive light, always look to be an ear, or maybe what I should have done is pushed up and reached out more. But it's more important that, like some of you said, we were able to give him so much joy when he was with us. With the variety of games we were playing, even off, whether it be movie night or, played a variety of other random games together. He just carried himself with us like another brother, and I loved him. Anyway, rest in peace, my bro.
la France!
Thank you.
Vive l'empereur!
Thank you, Cappuccino.
Vive l'empereur!
One more.
Vive la France!
All right, Days, I might jump.
Some of you may know me, some of you may not. My name's Dazed. I've met Rapsha when we were in the 26th. He was probably one of the first that I truly talked to outside of playing Hold Fast. Being that we lived in the same state, not far away, we connected instantly. We played games together after, spent many, many nights watching Kenny versus Spenny, and I don't know if I could ever watch that again without remembering them. I don't know if I will ever watch it again, just to hold the memories of watching so many of those episodes together late at night. As Cappuccino said, his laugh drags you right in, even when he says something that's pretty far-fetched. He'd drag you right in, suck you right to him, and he would touch you right to your heart. He would be honest to the bone of what he would think when you're not playing Hold Fast. I would say don't take friends for granted, don't take people for granted. You don't know what happens in life and how fast it goes by and what's going on. We were planning to meet up this year, and sadly, I wish I'd planned it sooner because he's someone I'm gonna dearly miss. And after I heard, after I left work, I drove around for about an hour because he's someone that I would love to be around outside of work, outside of Hold Fast, hang out in real life, and I wish I did meet up with him, that I could at least try to help him and try to help him through what he was going through, and wish he was still here today. But I'm also really happy that he's not in pain, he's not suffering anymore, and I think that's what we all look at and feel is the best at this point, is he's not in pain, he's in a better place, and he can finally enjoy. That'll be it.
Vive la France!
Thank you, Days.
Vive l'empereur!
All right, guys, let's go ahead and Murray. All right, Murray, I might jump.
Vive l'empereur!
Can you hear me? Sorry, I'm on my phone.
Yep, no, you're good.
You know, for most people that know Rapsha, if you never had to mute Rapsha while you were playing a game or in Hold Fast or whatnot, you're lying, because everyone has definitely muted him multiple times and gotten pissed off at him. Like Rapsha always had that habit of like getting on everyone's nerves, and looking back at it, it was pretty funny considering like, man, we're taking this game way too seriously, and then Rapture's over here just like making a joke of it. It's like, yeah, Rapture was in the right when you think back at it. But it just whenever like he always had his Bluetooth speaker blasting his I don't know what kind of genre of music is, but everyone knows the music he was blasting, like the funk or like the techno and everything, and he was blasting. He goes, "It's time for line battles," and it's all going off, and his microphone's peaking, and it's all like the audio is fucking up. But then when like you have like was previously said by others, when you have like those one-on-one conversations, and Rapture goes on to like almost like a mini therapy session with Rapture, and Rapture's just telling you, it's like asking, so what are you doing with your life? And at the time when I was like really talking to Rapture, this was what, 2020 or 2019, 2020, 2021, I started like distancing myself from like online video games. And but like just so I was still like in a juvenile state, and hearing Rapture basically saying like, get your shit together, And I always knew, because we all knew Rapsha had his issues, but hearing it from him is like, man, really do need to get my shit together. And I guarantee he told that to a lot of people. He told everyone just to say, like, start working, get up and grab yourself by your bootstraps and continue on. But yeah, so like of all the stuff with when I'm actually like tearing up because for an online friend who I haven't talked to in a couple years, I'd miss him. I will miss him. I still miss him. I will always miss him because he like even his story times. You ever like have Patty go and says, "Hey Rapsha, tell the Grease story," or Rapsha, tell the Spider story. Talk about Spider, and just hearing Rapsha go off on these tangents about random stuff. It's like I will miss him. Thank you, Fires.
Thank you, Mark.
Vive la France!
All right, guys, go ahead and move on. Before we go and wrap things off, there's gonna be two things that we're gonna go and do. So we're gonna go and get 3 solid volleys for Rapsha. Otherwise, if we don't do them right, you're gonna get clowned on by Rapsha regardless. After that, what we will do is we'll allow some final words before we go into some very short ones, very quick. So let's go ahead and make a line in the center. Let's go ahead and present to the east, and let's go ahead and get these 3 solid volleys in for Rapsha. Go for it, Will. You can slot him. Press X, Will. X. Take that melee. There you go. Now pull out triggers. All right, guys. Go ahead and present up. Fire. Present. Fire. Present. Fire. All right, guys. For my final words, before we go and let everybody go, just remember, as we've seen this community over and over again, it is a very small and niche community. But yet, people that are close to us, our friends, they still, there's no guarantee you can talk to them tomorrow or the next day. So don't be afraid to reach out to your friends and your buddies in the community. It's, they say that once you turn off the game, that's it. Like you turn off the screen, you're not really playing the game anymore. But I know a lot of us can relate to this, that if I'm not on the game from my computer, I'm on my phone and I'm still talking to the exact same people that I would be talking to if I was at home. And just in the end, I mean, we've all made great friends here in this small community, and let's keep an eye on each other and make sure that everybody's, okay, and we can continue to live and be friends together. If there is nothing else, guys, that's it for the Rapsha Memorial. I genuinely appreciate all of you guys for coming. I'll be heading down to Event Channel Main. If any of you guys would like to join me in there, we can just, shoot the shit, talk a lot of shit too. So if y'all would like to go join me down there, more than welcome to. But again, thank all of you guys for coming.